Hi everyone, this is Madison Kramer. I'm going to be talking about Lab 2. It's on magnetic fields, specifically that of bar magnets. So for introduction, I'm going to go over some objectives and a results preview. Our goal was to measure the on and off axis of magnetic fields produced by small bar magnets, and then to model these computationally. This was to better understand the derivation of magnetic fields from a source, specifically by the Biot-Savart law. So our main results is we were able to calculate the magnetic field magnitude at a distance of 0.23 meters, and we also measured the off-axis magnetic field magnitude as a vector, which can be seen below. So some key principles I wanted to go over were the Biot-Savart law and the distance dependence principle. We use these together in order to create our calculations. So Biot-Savart law, it's mainly about the magnetic fields are a function of U and R, U being the magnetic dipole moment and R being our observation vector. And then the magnetic field magnitude can be seen in the distance dependence principle. It's equal to R to a factor of n, and we attempted to confirm n as -3, however there's some sources of errors that I will discuss later. So the experimental procedure, the main use was the magnetometer app on your phone. You needed to determine the location of the magnetometer chip in the phone in order to compensate for the magnetic field of the Earth, basically determining the direction of magnetic north. My location's in Atlanta, Georgia, which allowed me to know what I expected the net magnetic field to be. So you set up the meter, stick, and magnet orthogonal to this magnetic north to basically compensate for it. Then you move your phone with the magnetometer app open at varying distance from the bar magnet. This allows you to measure an on-axis magnetic field measurement and an off-axis, and you record these components. So for initial conditions and observations, again, make sure that the magnetic field of the Earth is accounted for. When the magnetometer was at a distance far from the magnet, we observed that the x component of the magnetic field was near 0, versus when the magnetometer moved closer to the magnet, this x component was observed to be farther from 0. So the system for this is our magnetometer here, and our surroundings are a bar magnet. So for the on-axis magnetic field measurement, we created a logarithmic plot to provide an estimation for R, and we found n to be -4.3, although it was predicted to be -3. Again, there's some sources of error, which I'll discuss later. So again, we use that distance-dependent equation to basically kind of relate this logarithmic plot to y equals mxb, and then this is our magnetic field magnitude calculation. We found it to be 10.46 ampere meter squared. Okay, moving on, our off-axis measurement comparisons. So we found that at a distance of 0.23 meters, the average magnetic field magnitude was 9.4 to the -5. We basically compared then our predicted off-axis magnetic field magnitude and our measured one. The main difference is that the predicted one doesn't have a z-vector while our measured one does. Okay, so moving on to our computational models, this is the coding for the on-axis magnetic field. I really wanted to highlight that this is how we coded the Biot-Savart law. Again, you have your constant u naught over 4 pi, and then our related u and r variables. And then this is the code for the off-axis magnetic field. Again, this was at the 45-degree angle, which was important. Okay, moving on. So this is our computational rendering. The red arrows are representative of the on-axis field. The blue arrows are representative of the perpendicular axis, and then the purple arrows are representative of the 45-degree angle. And then again, this is basically the expected value of the magnetic field vector, which I compared earlier to the measured value. So in conclusion, some sources of error I wanted to discuss. There was the incorrect alignment of the magnetometer in that we didn't compensate for Earth's magnetic north. There was the incorrect alignment of the bar magnet as it was not in line with the magnetometer. And then there was a possibility that we used an incorrect magnet, as in not a bar magnet or a different size bar magnet. And all these could have led to some of the error we saw in our results compared from the measured to expected values. So here's some reflection questions I wanted to go over. So if we hadn't compensated for Earth's magnetic north, basically all the readings and recorded values would have been skewed in relation to the magnetic north. So that would have been incorrect because there would have been that influence of another magnetic field. And if we redid the experiment but used two magnets, basically the magnetic field would be expected to double because we'd have two magnets contributing a magnetic field rather than just a single one. So that's basically covers all of the experiment. Thanks for listening.